Hey, what's up? I'm Ashley. Thank you for watching this video, and today we're going to be talking about Candy, episode 4, and let's get started. So the episode starts off with Candy's husband, Pat, going through photos, reminiscing. He was low-key snooping around, going through her underwear drawer. I said her underwear drawer. Then he came across all of these cards, like Mother's Day cards, and then he saw this card that said Candy. It looked suspicious, so of course he opened it up, and when he opened it up, he found out that Candy was having an affair with Alan. The card was weak, but I guess somebody like Candy would appreciate it. Alan was talking about, have you ever stopped and thought about how many times kids say the word candy in a day? I said, ugh. And since they be saying it so much, it makes him think of her. Okay, put the pen down. But what got me is that he said, love Alan. He loved her. Pat made a simp move like the simp he is and went out and bought Candy some flowers after he just found out that she was having an affair on him. Then they jumped to when Simp was in court, and we see him telling everybody in the courtroom that he feels like his wife cheated because she had no one else to talk to. She's non-violent. I stand by my wife. Okay, boy. Then we jump to the day Betty died, which was Friday the 13th, 1980. And that's when we meet Officer Diffie. He got woken up out of his sleep and he had to go to the crime scene. He was there taking pictures, met up with some other officers, and he met the neighbors that found Betty that night. The neighbors told him what happened that night, what they saw, and after they did all of that, they was able to leave. So then that's when Officer Diffie and the other officers was looking around the house, still taking pictures. They took pictures of some broken glasses, the axe, and a shoe print. They thought it was a man's shoe print, so I guess they were just saying that Candy got a big old foot, along with some other things, but they were all shocked to find out that after they killed Betty, that the person took a shower in the bathroom. And one officer made it a point to say that after they did what they did to Betty, they had the audacity to get in the shower while the baby was crying in the background. The baby went hoarse because it was crying so much. 13 hours, the baby was left there by itself. That's a maniac. Only a psychomaniac is able to go to sleep the same day after they just chop somebody up. Look at her. She like, rise and shine. But that same day is when Alan came home, and that's when Officer Diffie was asking him some questions. One of the questions was there ever anyone outside of the marriage? And that's when Alan told him that, yeah, it was once, and it was her. And then the officer was like, have you ever did it? He said, no, not me. Then he told him that Candy came over there that same day, so you can probably ask her some questions. Then the conversation pretty much ended by Officer Diffie letting Alan know that whoever did this, Betty knew them because there was no force of entry. Look at this. More psycho behavior. She's able to eat after she just chopped somebody up. Right after this, the phone rings and her friends let her know that Betty wasn't shot. It was an axe. So after that conversation, when Betty seemed unfazed, her and her husband drove Christina to her house where her daddy had to let her know that her mother has passed away. And what's sick is that Candy got out the car to watch Alan tell his daughter that her mother is dead when Candy is the one that did it. And she had the audacity to go over there and hug Christina and Alan, rubbing all up on Alan's arm, and her husband is watching it, but he's not doing nothing because he a simp. He a punk. He don't care. Look at him. Still standing by his wife. And what also gets me is that Candy got the audacity again to come over to the house and bring some food the day of the funeral and tell Christina that her yellow dress is too bright to wear to the funeral because everybody gonna be wearing black. Her and her friend Cherry are trying to tell Christina to change her dress. Christina got up and said, my mama made me this dress. I'ma wear what I want to wear. And that's actually the dress that Betty was making the day that she died. If y'all don't leave that girl alone and let her wear what she want to wear to her mama's funeral, look at Candy walking into the crime scene that she committed. And look at her at the funeral. That's all because of her. So as soon as Betty died, this woman named Elaine started trying to put the moves on Alan. She went over there, started cooking him and his daughter some dinner, and gave him some advice on what to say to the police so he won't be looked at as a suspect, because the husband is always the number one suspect. She was like, you didn't take out any large sums of money, did you? Because then it could look like you hired somebody. So then that's when Alan called up Officer Diffie to let him know that he just took out a large sum of traveler's checks because him and his wife Betty were planning on going on vacation. And that he lied when he told him that he never had an affair, because he had an affair with Candy. And that he didn't tell him because it was over a long time ago, and it ended because things with him and Betty were going good, so he ended everything with Candy. Alan told the cop that Candy was in love with him, but he was in love with her too, because in that card that he wrote her, he said, love Alan. There ain't nothing but lies going on. So after the police found out that Alan had an affair with Candy, they were like, did Candy have an affair with this man too? Look how she rubbing up on him. She did it to one friend. What makes you think she wouldn't do it to another? So Candy saw them looking at her, so she stopped. She let his arm go. And that would be something, because that's Sherry's husband, her best friend. So Sunday comes, and that's the day that Candy has to go down to the station, because Officer Diffie has found out that Candy is the last person that's seen Betty alive, and that Candy had an affair with Betty's husband, Alan. And when she got in there, the first thing she did was lie. She told them that, yeah, I had an affair with Alan, but I'm the one that ended things. And they're looking at her side eye, because Alan just got done telling them the reason why he ended things with her first. They notice all of her broken nails. They take her fingerprint, and one cop noticed that she had some blood on her shoe. And she was like, oh yeah, it's from my storm door. I'm from LA. I don't know what a storm door is, so I had to Google it. So they're like, okay, so can you take off your shoe? And they was like, oh, look at your foot. You got some bruises on your foot. How you get that? And she told them that she got those bruises from playing with her kids. So then Officer Diffie was like, Candy, did you kill Betty Gore? Of course, she said no, and agreed on taking a polygraph test to prove that she didn't. So Monday came, and Candy realized that she needed a lawyer. So she went up over there and got her one. And everybody up and through that office believed Candy when she said that she didn't do it. Look at her. There's no way that she could do it. Look how small she is. Look at her. So Candy heard that the police found a shoe print, so she went home and started cutting up her shoe. And what's funny is that her husband found her cut up shoe in the trash when he was taking out the trash, and he didn't say nothing to nobody. Lock him up. He knows that the police found a footprint, so it's not a coincidence that your wife cut up her shoe and put it in the trash. So now after Candy found out from her husband that the police has now found fingerprints, she went to her lawyer and confessed everything. They were shook. And what's BS is that the lawyer said, it looks like we got ourselves a defense case. So back to Candy's simp, strange husband. After he found her cut up shoe in the trash can, he got out of bed one night and decided to get the axe, go outside, and start axing up a tree. I guess he was doing that to see how strong someone has to be to cut up and axe somebody 41 times, because it came out that Candy was over here chopping up Betty 41 times. And after he did that, he got back in the bed with her and went to sleep. That's stupid. And that's pretty much the whole episode. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about it in the comments. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already and want to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.